Hey there, Stampers. Happy Friday. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, I go live with a crafting project. So I'm here today with you to share something created with the Fine Art Floral suite from the January to June mini catalog. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my live here on my laptop. Here we go. Make sure my sound is off. All right. Happy Friday to you too, Shirley. Good morning, Janie. Good morning, Becky. Welcome. Okay, so like I said, we are going to play. Oh, I'm a bit crooked here. Let's see if we can fix this. Okay, we are going to play with the Fine Art Floral suite. And I'm going to share the products that are part of the suite. This is a suite that we are working with, my team and I are working with for our celebration extravaganza, and we'd love to have you join us. The deadline to register is actually on Sunday, so January 17th, and the event is actually on January 30th. It's an all-day event, but you do not need to be online all day. We've got tons of fun planned, and everything will live in the private Facebook group, and we'd love to have you join us. So I will talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Mom. Oh, Becky just ordered this collection yesterday. Yay. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Gail. All right, so first of all, let's go ahead and I'm going to share the products that are part of this collection. They are absolutely stunning. Okay, let me pull this in. All right, let's start with the paper, because it's always nice to see the paper up close. Okay, so this is one of the beautiful patterns, and then the back side. I love that the fronts are kind of florally, but then the back sides are so versatile. You can use them for pretty much anything. So if you're a scrapbooker, the backgrounds on these, or the backs on these back sides, are so incredibly versatile and would make great background pages. Okay, some of these are not full sheets. So there's this one and this one, and I just planned a project yesterday that will be one of the videos at our celebration extravaganza using this. It's so pretty. And then we've got this one, and this is the back side. I love this. You almost need a second package of this DSP so that you can use just the back pages and not feel guilty about not using the floral side. Good morning, Kim. So that one and that one. And then this one. And this one. See what I mean about the backs being so versatile? This is another favorite as well. This one and this one. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's 6. Okay, so that is the patterned paper. So let's set that aside. And then there is some, let me get the name of this right. Good morning, Leanne. The Golden Garden Designer Specialty Acetate. So there are 3 different sheets in here, 3 different patterns. Okay, so we've got, let me pull in a piece of white here so that you guys can see it. All right, so there's this pattern. And this pattern actually coordinates, it's meant to be like an overlay for this particular piece of patterned paper. So beautiful. Okay, so there's that one. And these are the 2 we're going to use today, or I think what we're going to use. And then there's this pattern. So these are 12 by 12, so they can be cut down, or you can use them as 12 by 12. And then there's this beautiful pattern as well. So they're gold on one side, but then you could flip it over and it's silver on the other side. So if you prefer silver, you just flip it over. All right, okay. So there's that, and then what else? We've got the stamp set and dies, so the art gallery stamp set, and then the floral gallery dies, so that coordinate with it. So there's dies for the larger flower, there's dies for this, dies for this, dies for the leaf. There is some scripty words that say just want to say, and then there's a couple label shapes. They're kind of like a postage postage border. Good morning, Amy. All right, so there's that. And then there is the Fine Art ribbon, which is this beautiful, almost like a linen look ribbon, but it's got some sparkle to it. And then the last product, I think I've got all the products here. The last product is this Gilded Leafing, and we're going to actually play with this today. I just pulled it out yesterday to play with, so I hadn't used it up until then because, to be honest, it kind of scares me, or it did kind of scare me. But it's actually not that difficult to use at all. So I'm going to share, there's lots of different ways that you can use it, but I'm going to share one of those ways today. And we are going to be using this as well in our celebration extravaganza. Okay, so today I am creating a title page for one of my family scrapbook albums. So I really want to use this overlay. So what I did was I pulled out, okay, so this is, oops, it's an older layout. It's from 2006. And this was the first page. So this is going to be the title page. So I pulled this out because what I want to do is I want to decide if I want to be able to see this background behind or if I want something behind it. So this is going to be the first thing that I decide is whether I want to use this pattern paper in behind this overlay or if I just want to use the overlay. And I wasn't 100% sure because if you look, this is like, I think it was called confetti white cardstock that we carried years ago. It has kind of like this fleck to it. So it's not a solid whisper white. It's got like this fleck to it. So I wasn't sure if I would like it in behind. Okay, so that could be my option, or this could be my option. And you know what? I'm leaning more towards this. I just think that you can really see that beautiful gold pattern much better on the white than on the patterned paper. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it like this. So I'm going to slide this out of the way. I will likely bring it back periodically as I go through and create the page just to see what it looks like. Now, another thing that you should know is that these have a protective layer on them. I don't know if it's actually on both sides or if it's just on one side. So you will want to peel that off. Let me just see here. Does anybody know if it's on both sides? I'm thinking it's only on one side. I'm going to stick with just the one side. So I will peel that off afterwards. I'm going to be putting my stuff on this side because I want the pattern to go this way and I want the gold showing. So I'm going to layer everything on here, and that will likely be the last thing that I do is peel off that plastic. But just so that you know, if you're working with this and you're cutting down your paper, you want to make sure that you pull that off. Okay? All right. And then Tracy hasn't opened her gold leafing either. I know, Shirley, isn't this sweet gorgeous? So gorgeous. Well, Tracy, hopefully after today you will pull it out. Okay. I'll show you that it's not as intimidating as it appears. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to keep it really simple because I do really love this and I don't want to take a lot away. So I have a couple pieces of cardstock here. I pulled colors right from the patterned paper. So I chose Mossy Meadow and Petal Pink. And I am going to just flag the ends of these. So when I flag, I like to just kind of cut up the center and just eyeball it. I mean, if you eyeball it and it looks like the center, you'll be fine. And then I cut up from the corners to the center bit, and that gives me a relatively even flag. So I'm going to do that for both pieces. It helps if you have longer bladed scissors, which I could just turn around and grab them out of my dish, but I'm being a little bit lazy today. That's okay, it's Friday, that's allowed. How's everybody's week been? Okay, so I've got, this piece measures about 3 inches by 8 3/4 or 8 1/2, I may trim it down, I'm not 100% sure. And this piece measures 2.5 inches, 2.25 inches by 8.5. And this is kind of what I'm thinking is kind of something like that, just with a little bit of that pink showing. And then I'm going to put the year on here and maybe some flowers, maybe add some ribbon. So we'll get to that. But first, let's play with the Gilded Leafing. So now that you kind of have an idea of what the layout is going to look like, I'm going to slide this off to the side for a minute. And I'm going to use some of our adhesive sheets. So these, if you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I'm a huge fan of these. They come in 6 by 12 inch sheets. And normally what you do is you take your cardstock and you will put your adhesive sheets behind, and then you take your dies, whatever your die is. It's great for any of those finicky dies or for like the playful alphabet or alphabet sets when you're doing titles on scrapbook layouts, that type of thing, but any finicky outlining detailed dies. So you take your dies and you normally put your die on top of the cardstock with the adhesive on the back and feed it through your die cutting machine. But something came to mind yesterday and I thought, I wonder if this will work. So let's give it a try. I did try it yesterday to make sure because I was not going to do it to try it live. So what I did was I took a black piece of cardstock, I added my adhesive sheets onto it, and I'm going to actually cut it this way. Okay, so I'm cutting it so that the adhesive is going to be on the top. Because what I want to do is I want to cover it with the gold leafing. So I want my year to be gold and covered with that gold leafing. Okay. So let's see here. So I'm using my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I'm just going to run this through. Now this number set that I'm using is called a large number dies, something along those lines. It's not something that we carry anymore. I love them because they're larger. You can do this same idea with the playful alphabet. It has numbers in it, so you can definitely do that. Okay, so now I've got my O and it has adhesive on the top. So now I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper, my Gilded Leafing, and I have a relatively large sponge that is going to be dedicated to this Gilded Leafing. Okay, I'm going to use my tweezers and I'm going to pick off the adhesive. Now when you put the adhesive on, let me share, let me grab a piece of this. This has several seams. Okay, so I think there's 3 seams across. When you put it onto your cardstock, you want to make sure when you're using the Gilded Leafing, if you're just using it like normal, then you're fine. You want to make sure that there are no gaps in between. You need this to be covered completely with adhesive, okay? I had one that I tried yesterday and there was a little, it was a sliver of a gap in between where the 2 pieces were put together. And it doesn't give anything for the Gilded Leafing to stick to. So it just showed as black cardstock. Okay, so I'm peeling off the backing. So now we've got the sticky side up. And I'm going to open this. You want to be very careful when you open this. It is very full. And it is so light and airy that it can fly away quite a bit. But it's not as messy as I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to take my fingers and just grab some of this and put it on, and you do not need a lot. Okay, so that should be plenty. I'm going to set that aside. Actually, let's put the lid back on. We don't need any accidents because it is very hard to pick up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm just going to hold this in place and I'm going to brush it on. So, and I'm going to take this, the stuff that I brush off, I'm going to take that with my sponge and brush it on. So see, I didn't have the entire number covered with the Gilded Leafing, but there's enough here that I can spread it around. And it's as simple as that. So I'm not pushing very hard. I'm just using a light touch and brushing it on. And then I'm going to take my sponge and go around the edges. That will get anything extra off. And then inside here. And then let me bring it up closer. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll just give it a minute to catch up, make sure you guys can see that beautiful detail on there. So it doesn't give a super smooth look, like there is some texture to that, but that's part of the charm. It looks amazing. Yeah, the camera does not get a very good, it doesn't do it justice. So it can be as easy as that. So there's other ways that you can apply it. I wasn't 100% sure that it was going to work with the adhesive sheets, but it does. So you can use adhesive sheets. You can use tear and tape. You can use the heat and stick. I know, it's not that scary, right, Tracy? So Versamark, a heat and stick, and then the Gilded Leafing. When you do use heat and stick, you do need to work relatively quickly. What else? I think you could probably use any adhesive. I did use, so let me pull in my other numbers so that I can show you. I'm going to slide this out of the way. It's not as messy or as scary as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so remember I had said that one of the letters, or one of the numbers had a little bit of a gap. I think it was, yeah, it was my number 2. And you can kind of see there's a little tiny bit of black right there. So I had this strip going across right here. So what I did was I used a very thin line of multi-purpose glue, and then I let it dry. Because if you let multi-purpose glue dry, then it's like a temporary adhesive, or it'll still be tacky, but it's not sticky. Because what I didn't want is I didn't want to take my sponge and smear the glue everywhere, right? So it won't smear when you rub if you let it dry. So I added a very thin bead of that, or strip of that multi-purpose glue. I let it dry, and then I added some more Gilded Leafing, and you can't even tell. So apart from that one little spot of black right there. But you'll never notice that when I stick it on my layout. Okay, so that's a little solution if you do get that. Do you need to reheat the heat and stick? You know what, Tracy, to be honest, I have not tried the heat and stick yet. That's on my list of to-dos. I've used the self-adhesive sheets, and I've used tear and tape, and then that tiny little bit of multi-purpose glue. I have not used the heat and stick yet. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan, and never was a fan of heat and stick. I find it very finicky to use. I did buy the new one because I don't have it from when we carried it before. So I do plan on trying it, and I will let you know, and maybe I'll do a video of it as well once I give it a shot. But I don't think you do need to reheat it afterwards, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so I've got my year here. So 2006, yes, it was many, many years ago, but it's one of the very few layouts that I have left in this particular album, and I just want to finish what I've got started. So this is going to go somewhere on this piece here. So I'm thinking I'd like to use some of the ribbon, possibly wrapping it around and tying a bow on here, but I want to add some floral images as well. So I'm going to slide that aside again, just slide it over to the left. I'm going to bring in some Whisper White or Basic White. This is actually Whisper White, which we don't carry anymore. It is now called Basic White. And I've got some ink colors because we are going to do some stamping. Because like I said, I want some of those beautiful floral images to be included on my layout. So I'm going to use the largest floral, and I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo for the solid image. Well, Tracy, if you play with it this weekend, let me know how it goes. Thanks for sharing, Carol. Oh, you know what? Just seeing that comment reminded me that I did not draw for last week's project. Okay, I will post the winner later. Thanks for reminding me. So Carol shared, so she gets 5 entries. Well, I guess she won't win this project because this is a scrapbook page, but I will have something else that she could win. And by participating in the conversation, you get an entry for every comment that you make, and by sharing, you get 5 entries. So I'll have something fabulous. Actually, I've created a couple slimline cards recently. Maybe I'll do one of those for next week. Okay, so I've stamped the solid image, so the fuller image with Flirty Flamingo. Now I'm going to come in and add some shadowing with some Poppy Parade. So like I said at the beginning of this video, this entire suite is what we'll be working with during our team celebration extravaganza. You do not need to be a team member. You can participate as a customer. It's just my team is organizing it. And we've got a ton of plans. You'll get 13 project ideas using this collection. There are 6 make and takes. They're beautiful. They're using the bundle. So you'll get the kits to make the 6 make and takes. All the make and takes are done via Facebook Live throughout the course of the day. We have a mystery stamping Zoom session. And leading up to the event, every day leading up to the event, so 6 days prior to when we start on January 30th, we will have a Facebook Live featuring one of the celebration products. So every day it'll be a different celebration product. Okay, so now I need some more white. I need enough for a leaf. So it's an event that you definitely don't want to miss. We've got a ton of fun planned. We did our first one for World Card Making Day. It was lots of fun, but this one's going to be even bigger and better. All right. So in order to participate, I will post a link to all the information in the description above after the live. But it's a minimum $60 order gets your kit for free, or the attendance, your all class access pass for free, or you can pay a $35 fee and participate, and that will give you access to everything as well. And like I said, you don't have to be in front of your computer all day, because everything will live in a private Facebook group, and we also send out a PDF with links to all of the videos afterwards. Okay, so I've got my mini machine here, and oh, I've got some words on the back of that. That's okay. So now I am going to use the coordinating dies and cut out my image. So I'll do both flowers and actually, you know what? I think I just realized I stamped the flowers in the wrong colors, because I wanted to use petal pink, because I've got the petal pink cardstock. Okay, so there's my leaf. And then I do have a couple flowers already cut, and these are the right colors. So for these ones, I used Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo. Thank you for sharing, Leanne. So Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo, those are the colors that I wanted to use because I wanted to pull in this little bit of Petal Pink. But this is another great color combination, Flirty Flamingo and Poppy Parade. So I'll save those for a different project. That saves me having to cut them out too. All right, slide that out of the way, bring back our page, and let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I think these are going to go on dimensionals. I'm going to see if I've got some mini dimensionals in my little adhesive bin here. I got some mini black ones. Oh, this sheet is started. Let's use these. Okay. All right, so let's see what we want to do here. So I could do something. I want to keep it simple because it is just a title page. Now, if you don't do title pages for your albums, or you don't need a title page, you could easily use this idea and create a layout that will hold photos. So you could do a strip of photos down this way, and you can have your title block. So you could use a title block, and your flowers could be your kind of your focal point right here. So title or photos down this way, title block, and then a cluster, and it would look beautiful. Okay, so maybe I don't need the ribbon. I could do this. Let's see, what if I tied a bow with the ribbon? Might be a bit too big. Too big and too heavy, maybe. Let's give it a shot. So the other thing I wanted to chat with you guys about today, well, it might be okay. I think that looks good. Okay. The other thing I wanted to chat with you guys about today is becoming a discount shopper. Have you guys heard about being a discount shopper? So right now, well, any time is a great time to become a discount shopper, because the starter kit is always the best deal in the catalog. So the starter kit is completely customizable. You can fill it with whatever it is that you want. And you get to choose $165 worth of product, and you only pay $135, no shipping and no GST. No, those large numbers are no longer available, Leanne. They have retired. The only numbers we carry now are the ones that are in the Playful Alphabet set. So on a normal day, then that's what you pay to become a discount shopper. Is you get to choose $165, you pay $135, no shipping, no tax. But during celebration, there is always an added special. So right now, and until the end of February, so until February 28th, you can become a discount shopper and only pay $135, choose $165 worth of product. But in addition to that product, you will also get 5 full packages of 6x6 DSP that has not yet been released. It will be released in the next annual catalog, so in the 2021-2022 annual catalog. And the value on that is $78.75 before shipping and tax. So it's an incredible value. All right. Carol joined recently, and she joined because she wanted the Stamparatus. So anything that's larger, like the Stamparatus, the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, you can include that. I think the regular Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, I think it's still under $165. I'm pretty sure it's under $165. You can include that. Like if there's anything that is a larger ticket item, you can include that, and you pay $135 and no shipping and no tax. So I'm going to give you a perfect example of what you could include, and how much it would cost if you shopped for me, and how much it would cost if you made it part of your starter kit. But we'll do that once I'm finished this layout here. Okay, so that's going to go like that. We will add these, and I probably should have added these beforehand because this always takes a little bit of time. All right, so I'm using the mini dimensionals, and I'm using black because I've used black cardstock. But you could use white as well, it doesn't matter. Just happen to have some black ones in my bin. So let's put this, we're going to center it up and down. So for those of you who are joining in a little bit late, I used our Gilded Leafing, I think it's called. Yeah, Gilded Leafing with our adhesive sheets on these numbers to bring in that gold color. Yes, it would have been easier if I just used gold foil. Probably could have saved some time, but it does not give the texture that this gold leafing does. It's so, so pretty. I'll bring it up a little bit closer once we're done so you can have a closer look, but I don't know that it's going to come across on camera. Maybe when I take a photo of the layout, it'll come across. Okay, keep going here. So has anybody tried the gold leafing yet? I tell you, it's one of those products that I think everybody is super excited about, but it's so, we get ourselves so worked up, and it's kind of one of those ones that's a little bit scary, but now that I've used it, it is not scary at all. Not yet, Kim? Do it. Do it, Kim. It's so fun, and it looks so amazing. Okay, so we've got our numbers on there. Now I'm going to use my bone folder and curl up my leaves. Put a little bit of adhesive on the back. Thankfully this is going to be on the green because I put some words on the back of this. This kind of going like this. Just add a little bit of dimension there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to position my flower. I think I am going to add a bow. Maybe not quite so angled. Okay, that's better. All right, so now, because I know that this is going to have that white sheet behind, Janie's too scared. I'm okay to put adhesive right behind here because it's not going to be a clear piece. Now, if this was going into an album where I was going to use the front and the back, then I would consider what I was going to put on the back, and I will give you I'll give you some ideas on how you could use this so that you could use the front and the back. Once I'm done here, we'll flip it over and I'll share an idea that I had that I think I might use for one of the other sheets. Okay, so we've got that. We've got our bow here. I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. So I know when Shelley and Sarah used this gold leafing, or gilded leafing, they used it in their demo at Onstage. They had their gilded leafing in this like big shoebox type container with a lid. And like, I don't know if it was just one container, but when, like, it was a relatively full container, and it was large. Like, it was really big. So I think that's what scared me, was I'm thinking, is this stuff going to explode when you open it? So I was really hesitant to open it. I really did not want to make a huge mess of things. But I also didn't want to have like this huge container to try to find a home for. So you know what? Just know that you can leave it in the container. Just be careful when you open it. And so this little bit that I have left on this sheet, you could dump that right back in, but I'm just going to throw the entire sheet out, and this will go into a little Ziploc baggie. If there were big pieces left on there, then I would definitely put those back in the jar, but those little bits, I'm not even going to worry. It's mostly just dust. So it's not like I'm wasting a whole lot. All right. Actually, do I want to move this up? Okay, what do you guys think? Do I put it that way? Or do I put it closer up here? Or do I just put it this way on here? Or do I put it straight? Okay, straight, angle to the right, or up at the top and angled that way. I don't know where to put this bow. Isn't that weird? Huh. Okay, let me know what you think. I'm kind of leaning towards that. Straight here, Sue? Or up higher? I don't know about this little gap here. Straight, okay, everybody's saying straight. Okay, lower or higher? Oh, I don't like that it's covering the leaves. I think lower. How about right there? How does that look? Like that? Okay, so I'll wait and hear your answer. In the meantime, I'm gonna flip this over. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna leave it. I don't need it to be super elaborate. Like I said, it's just a title page. This is where it's going to go. So that's what it'll look like. I love it. So beautiful. I could add a little something up there if I wanted to, but I do kind of like that white space. So remember, I do still need to peel off the backing, so I will do that. But if you did not have a piece, like if you just wanted to add a title page into an album and not have something backing this, so if you just wanted to kind of appear as though it was floating in your page protector, then what you could do, this is what the back looks like. This is potential for you to add something to it. So what I would do is I would cut another piece. I would mimic this bit here and add it onto this side. And then you could maybe add even just a photo block here. So a block with a photo on there. You could do your title going across this way and then just leave it. And that way you're using both sides. Okay, so that is an option that you can do, or you can back it. So let me just pull in and see what it looks like with this patterned paper underneath. So remember I shared that this, oh, you know what? That does look pretty good. Okay, what do you guys think? Should I use the patterned paper behind? With or without? It gives it such a different look. I'm kind of liking it with. Okay, so I'm going to wait and see what you guys think. I'm going to set that aside for just a minute. And I want to talk about this becoming a discount shopper. Okay, so I put together a sample starter kit. So what you could include in your starter kit is basically, I've come up with exactly $165. So you're not leaving anything on the table. So you would get a package of this Fine Art Floral DSP. You could get a package of the golden, what is it called? Golden Garden acetate. So you could get a package of that. So we're gonna spread it all out so you can kind of actually visually see this. You can get the Floral Gallery dies, the Art Gallery stamp set, the Gilded Leafing, a roll of this Fine Art ribbon. What am I missing here? You could add the Gilded Gems, which are a great complement to this suite. You can add a package of the blending brushes, which seriously, everybody needs these blending brushes. Love, love, love them. Did I get everything? Okay, so basically you choose the whole Fine Art Floral suite. You add the Gilded Gems and a package of the blending brushes. It comes to $165. So if you purchase that through me, you would be paying $165 plus shipping and GST. That comes to $190.58. If you purchased it as part of your starter kit, you could get all of this plus 5 packages of the 6x6 DSP, brand new, not yet released DSP. This is what the patterns look like. So you get a package of brights, subtles, the 2020, 2022 in color, neutrals, and regals. And these are the patterns. So you get, so this pattern and this pattern. And these types of papers are great because they go with everything and those patterns. And you get them in all of, so you'd have them in all of the colors. This is an example of the Brights pack. So that's an added value of $78.75 before shipping and tax. So if you were to do it that way, you would get $243.75 worth of product, and you would only pay $135. So what you would pay through me is $190.58 as part of your starter kit. You would pay $135. No shipping, no tax. $135 flat. And on every order that you place as a demonstrator between when you sign up and the end of July, at least, you would get a minimum of 20% discount. So that's how you can become a discount shopper. If you've got a really long wish list, that is definitely the way to go. All right, so I will post my link to join my team, and then you can participate in the celebration extravaganza, and you don't even have to pay for that because my team members get to come for free. So I will post the link to join in the description above. I'll post the link to the celebration extravaganza information in the description above, and I will share a photo of the layout a little bit later on today after I take it. And I'm just looking at your comments, and it looks like everybody agrees that the pattern paper, with the pattern paper it is. I guess I'm gonna need to purchase another package of the pattern paper. Okay, so I'm just gonna peel off this backing. And oh, it looks so pretty. And how simple was that? Seriously. Okay, let me bring this up a little closer so you can check out that gilded leafing. Let's see if I'm close enough that you can see that texture. See, Amy agrees. Joining was the best decision she ever made. Seriously, it's life-changing. It was one of the best decisions that I've ever made as well. It has changed my life for the better. All the people that I've met, the confidence it has given me. I don't know, it's amazing. It's the best job ever. And I'm thankful for it every single day. I love what I do. And whether you decide to do what I do or whether you decide to just take advantage of the discount, that is not a problem. It's your decision, and there is never any pressure to do anything you don't want to do. All right? So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me talk for, 45 minutes. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. I will see you guys next week. All right? Take care.